You don't need to watch another video on how you need to ignore your reality and then you will manifest money. In fact, one thing we know in neuroscience is that trying so hard to ignore your reality could be the very reason why you're not in overflow. It actually can create more anxiety, dysregulate your nervous system, and it keeps your brain stuck in the very thing that you're trying to ignore. There's actually a shortcut. We're going to use neuroscience for this because it was neuroscience that was the unlock. It made everything work for me. It went from 0 to multiple 6 figures to entering the 1% of income in the United States in a very short period of time. My name is Giselle Baumet. I am an applied neuroscientist at the master's level and a researcher. I get to work with brilliant women entrepreneurs and leaders as I help them to open to that abundance of money by imprinting a wealth identity using my unique method, NeuroImprint. A lot of manifestation coaches tell you things like, ignore your 3D, ignore your bank account, ignore your bills, ignore what's happening with your money, ignore your reality, and then you will manifest everything that you desire. Except that in neuroscience, we know that ignoring your reality does not rewire your brain. It keeps you in survival mode. Because when you're trying so hard to pretend that everything is fine, it's all just coming to me. I just have to ignore my reality and then I will manifest everything. But your nervous system is fighting you on that. Your brain actually will go into threat mode. The difference between what you say and what you feel will absolutely create cognitive dissonance. And then unfortunately, when that happens, your brain can't even notice the opportunities in front of you. You don't have the ability to be as creative as you normally would. It starts to shut down your ability to receive money, and it makes it really hard to stay consistent. Ignoring your reality does not free you. It traps you. In neuroscience, we also know that reality does not change when you ignore it. It only and only will change when your identity changes. And your identity is a set of unconscious beliefs about who you are, what you're allowed to have, what is normal for you, and what is safe to receive. Literally, your brain will create your reality by filtering every experience through your identity. So thinking that, oh, I just ignore my reality and I ignore what's happening and then I open myself up to an overflow is actually the slowest way to permanently change your wealth. Here's the nuance that no one's talking about. Acknowledging your reality is really different than ignoring and obsessing over it. I remember all the teachings that I also received on ignoring my reality, and that was an essential. It was like, you must ignore what's happening as a way to create a new reality. And that was just frustrating because you have a really hard time. Let's be honest, you have a really hard time trying to ignore your reality every single day. It actually is like you're fighting against yourself. So we're going to stop that. Okay, we're going to stop that because it's not necessary. Instead, we're going to acknowledge without obsessing. Big difference. Let me tell you what I mean. Acknowledging your reality does not mean obsessing and focusing over the negative parts of your reality. And it's also not the same as ignoring the negative parts of your reality either. Acknowledging removes the trigger. It removes the need to have to try so hard to ignore it. When you acknowledge, this is all I want you to do. You see it, and it's okay to see it. And by the way, my love, just because you see it doesn't mean you're like, oh no, if I pay attention to it or if I see it, it's going to manifest even more for me. No. We see it, we name it, we regulate, and then we choose again. Because ignoring your reality is gaslighting your nervous system. Obsessing over your reality also keeps you living in fear. Acknowledging your reality puts you back in power. When you acknowledge it with honesty, then your brain actually relaxes. Your nervous system downshifts. And now you're going to be able to operate from clarity instead of pretending. I want to go deeper into the how. Tip number 1 is that you're going to name the pattern. This is called affect labeling in neuroscience. And what we're doing is we're naming the feeling so that our amygdala calms down. Here's a couple examples of what I mean. Naming the pattern might simply be, money is slow this month. I feel pressure around my income. My nervous system feels tight right now. We're just naming it. You know what happens when you do that? You stop the fight or flight. And now your mind can open. Now you actually can be more creative. You can move into problem solving. You gain more confidence because you named it instead of ignoring it. Now you're ready for bold decisions. We're moving out of survival, and now it's a choice because we named it, we didn't ignore it. Tip number 2 is regulate before you rewire. After we name it, we regulate. We take a few moments of just controlled breathing, bringing calming into our nervous system. Because you cannot create an identity that lives in abundance when you are dysregulated. So I want you to always remember that regulation is not optional. Is necessary. It's a vital part of manifestation because it is the unlock that helps you open up to receive. It is what you need to be able to shift into a wealth identity. Neuroscience tip number 3, microevidence, not fantasy. Your brain is going to update your reality through evidence, not imagination. Now we're going into memory reconsolidation and behavioral activation. So instead of pretending that income is flowing in, pretending that you feel abundant, pretending that the fear is gone, we're actually going to make it a lot easier. We're going to create one piece of evidence that we can show to ourselves our new identity. That will create so much more momentum than ignoring your reality or pretending that everything is good. So what does that look like? Well, I recently made a video on 5 micro actions that create wealth and manifest money. So I want you to go to that video after this one so that you can get some ideas of what I mean. And to go even deeper on this, you'll want to join my free community, Start the 14-Day Challenge, so that you can unlock the ability to attend the free power hour where I take questions and answers. The key thing that I want you to remember is that micro evidence will build consistency. Consistency builds identity. Identity builds money overflow. Neuroscience tip number 4 is we're going to redirect our focus. We're going into the RAS, Reticular Activating System. We want to determine what is your brain going to highlight more for you. If you ignore your reality, your brain panics. So instead, acknowledge it, regulate your system, then we're going to redirect our focus into what we're building. And every time that it comes up, acknowledge it, regulate your system, redirect. You're always downshifting your amygdala to not be in fight or flight. Every single time that you acknowledge, you regulate, and you redirect. We redirect by learning more about wealth, about money, learning more about what we're creating, taking those micro actions, finding that evidence, choosing environments and groups of people where wealth is normalized and encouraged. Because my love, you do not need to try to ignore your reality as a prerequisite to be able to be in overflow and be in abundance and manifest all the money that you desire. There's just a quicker way when you use neuroscience, because you're majestic. You're so much more powerful than you realize, and I cannot wait for you to realize it.